Hello again, all you wonderful people, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays. Hope you guys are having a marvelous year thus far, and that 2022 is going to be really just an amazing year. As you can see, we are starting the new year in green hell, and we are back in the Amazon here, exploring a bit. Now, last time we came from the airport over here, we went down the cliffside over here, took a bit of a swim, and we are currently over here, and we are going to make our way a little bit east to head down to the swamps in the southeast of the map, which will be down there somewhere. So we are going to go down there and head over in that general direction. So let's see how we start the new year, whether we started with a bang or a fizzle. We're just going to make our way down the cliffside here. I am far more reckless in this game than I will ever be in real life. I would never run along the cliffside here. We found another new location, which would be this climbing spot right over here. So we're just going to make our way down. So, in some kind of cave system, which is actually very nice. I mean, nice little rivers, a little stream flowing down here. Obviously the river over here, the stream, draining into the swamp. Now our vitals are not too good, so I think let's remedy that by first starting our journey in the swamp here by eating some nuts, because all good journeys start with eating nuts. So there we've got a poison dart frog hopping around on the other side. Good to know that they are here. We are just on this little section over here, which is generally a good place to start building a smallish base. Hello. There's another little tortoise. We're not going to murder you. This time we remembered our tortoise shell, so there's no need for us to go and kill you. We are, however, going to murder the fruit on the tree over here, the soursop, the custard apples. We're going to eat some of those. That's going to be great. There's also a Brazil nut tree here, which means we could have these little guys, the indigo blue leptonias. Again, just boosting our energy a bit so that we are ready for the journey through the swamp. Now, we don't have a map for this area, and it can be quite treacherous. You don't want to just go heading in that general direction, because there's nothing but swamplands in that direction, and if you know anything about swamps, it means that there may be things like crocodiles and caimans, and we obviously don't want to encounter them if we can help it. Now, while we are making our way through the swamp here, however, you will notice the trees with these weird roots over here. So these would be mangrove trees, and the weird roots they have here are what we call pneumatophores, and they are there to help the tree get enough oxygen to survive. Now, growing in water itself is generally not the best idea, because if you are a plant growing in this pure water here, your roots don't actually get enough oxygen to survive. So if you've got a tree at home and it's just standing in water, unless it can survive in waterlogged conditions, it is going to die due to the roots not getting enough oxygen and the tree then actually drowning in the water. There's a bass swimming over there, just keeping an eye out, checking the water before we try to cross, because we want to get to the other side over there, which is why this ecologist crosses the water to get to the other side. So let's just make our way across. But in any case, these pneumatophores here actually contain a whole bunch of little cells called lenticels, and these lenticels are there to make sure that the roots get enough oxygen, so that even though the bottom part of the roots are standing in water, these little roots here are still above the water line. Even if the water levels were to rise quite substantially, these little roots are still above the water level, and they are able to get enough oxygen down to the lower roots. So we're just going to phase our way through the pneumatophores over there, and continue on our journey. So we are heading to the southeast, generally just sticking close to the wall over here. We've got a carcass. We could get some maggots there if we really wanted to. There's no need for us to get that now. We are still in quite alright shape for now. I say for now because you never know what could happen in a moment. So we're just sticking to the outside wall. Generally the best strategy if you don't know what the... Oh, hello! Yes, you see. If you don't know what could be waiting for you, the best strategy is to just stick to outside walls, and you should then be okay.
That's really high. I'll need some better equipment.
So we can't actually climb up there, but we will need a grappling gun. But for now, we have a bit more meat. So we should be able to carry this as well, because we actually have quite enough space in our backpack, I think, at least. So let's just quickly harvest Mr. Cayman over here and get him into our backpack. Now, crocodiles, caimans and alligators, all those crocodilians are actually very well adapted to life in water. And they've got their webbed feet, which unfortunately I've already slaughtered the caiman, so we can't have a look at that. Although we may see another caiman before this is all over, or we'll probably will see one. But they've got their webbed feet and of course their very, very powerful tail, which they use to then also give powerful strokes through the water to swim very, very quickly. But they can also be, or some species at least, can also be extremely agile on land, which is not something you expect from a crocodilian, but they can actually, in some cases, gallop across land, and they can be surprisingly quick. And in prehistory, there was actually a crocodilian that was very much a, well, land crocodile. So it ran around on land and had very much longer legs than the crocodiles that we have alive nowadays. Hello. So solar panels, not something you just expect randomly in the forest. Right, so some kind of structure in the jungle. We've got our rubbish bags over there, air conditioning here. Let's open up and see what's inside. Because that can't go horribly wrong. Okay, we are in some kind of lab set up here. I assume this is disinfecting. Yep. We need sterile conditions in the lab, it seems. Okay. Okay, so we've got some kind of machine, but we need infected blood sample before we can do anything else. Let's see if we can actually find that. It's an audio recorder. While we look for other things, let's quickly have a look and see what it says.
Dr. Smith, report number 26.
So he was the leader of the expedition.
On Quassia amara, a shrub from the Samarubaceae family with compound inflorescence and small, long, intensely red leaves. Distinctive characteristics: its flower contains chemical compounds, quassin among others, which make this shrub one of the most bitter plants in the world. The natives use it to make a brew for fevers and pain. Unfortunately, aside from this usage, I haven't found evidence of any other medicinal properties. Apart from its terrible taste, the plant doesn't have any other distinguishable features. Of course, a sample along with full biochemical analysis will be included in the nearest transport. End of report.
Okay, so they were obviously testing all kinds of plants and animals for their uses as, well, a cure to the disease, it seems, that was ravaging the area. So because they were sent by a Molucor over there, they obviously were sent to try and get some specimens that could potentially hold the key to curing a disease. And in the fridge here we did obtain the infected blood sample. Let's see if there's anything useful over here. Another letter. Okay, so the letter basically says that Dr. Smith, who was the leader of the expedition, was having problems with Dr. Jake Higgins, which is obviously us. So not very happy about how we are doing things, and basically we are going insane, it seems. Or, well, he says we are going insane. Okay, so we've managed to put in the infected blood sample right over there into that machine. Now, it says we need to insert something else there. Insert test sample. So this could be anything. Literally, I mean, I could put a mouse in there. Let's see if a mouse will cure this horrible disease that has broken out. It takes a while. And unfortunately, nope. So we need to find something else. So you can go around testing literally every single thing to see whether that actually helps, but we'll try to find out in a different manner what could potentially cure the disease. This audio recorder, let's see what it has to say about, well, whatever else is happening over here.
Dr. Smith, report number 27. Observations on Guanabana, a small tree in the Annonaceae family. Yellow and green heart-shaped flowers, oval fruits up to 12 inches long, weighing on average 2.2 pounds. Covered in dark green skin with soft prickles, white creamy flesh with black seeds. Distinctive characteristics, very tasty. I've collected samples of fruits, leaves, and bark. As with many other species, the natives use the Guanabana fruit to make anti-parasite brews. I must repeat some tests to be sure, but so far, the evidence for antiviral, antibacterial, and even antidepressant properties is very promising. I'm not sure if I should get our hopes up, but some of the plant's substances can even destroy cancer cells. I want to keep my professional cool, but for the first time, I feel that we are actually close to discovering what we're looking for. Out of all the potential samples studied so far, I recommend conducting a thorough analysis on Guanabana first. End of report.
Okay, so Guanabana being the custard apple, the annona that we've got growing in the forest areas. We're just getting disinfected as we make our way outside again. So it seems this lab was set up here in order to try and find a cure for the horrible disease that was making, or that's making the rounds, you know, in Brazil and then overall in the world. Let's just pick up the mouse here, since we had gotten rid of our previous one. It's just a cooking area, empty cans, typical camp setup that we've got over here. And it seems that Dr. Smith had his best idea thus far was to actually look at Guanabana fruit, which is the soursop, or the custard apple, as I call it as well. So he seems to believe that is a good plant to investigate for its potential medicinal uses. Here we've obviously got the sleeping quarters, we've got some food over there that we can eat if we want, and lots of beds to also sleep on. However, what we are most interested in is the map right over there, and whatever these things have to say for us.
Dr. Smith, report number 23. Again, it's about Higgins.
Yeah.
His behavior is starting to spiral out of control, and his obsession with his wife's health is disrupting the team's work. Once again, I want to make it clear that I don't have the professional knowledge to diagnose him, but I suspect a mental breakdown. It's getting worse with each day. Should I put him on medication? We have some sedatives on hand. Please advise. Oh, I almost forgot. I've packed all the specimens according to the new guidelines. I hope this time they will reach their destination without any problems. End of report.
Right, so it seems Dr. Smith was basically losing his mind or having mental breakdowns here, which is understandable. His wife Mia is obviously in hospital and not doing very well, and it seems they were getting evacuation orders. So they were ordered to leave this Omega base, which we currently are at, and go back to wherever they all came from. And they would then have to have a year-long quarantine. And here we thought we had a bad time with a 1-week quarantine if you were to get COVID, or a few weeks quarantine at max. You had to go a year without contact with the outside world for this one. And then lastly, the letter over here says that the all logs were to be made with audio recordings from the researchers and were to be sent with samples to the headquarters of Omolu. So we're sending all kinds of things, all kinds of audio logs to the people from the medical company. Now, we are currently right over there. So we've made our journey across along here. We can't actually get up here because we can't use this climbing site right over there. That is a very tall area. We can't just throw our grappling hook up. We need a grappling gun to launch it up there. So we need to go and find that. And then we also have this location here that we need to go investigate. So I think let's first go have a look and see what is over there, and then we'll decide a course of action from there. Now, judging from the map, the location we are looking at should be right over there somewhere. So we're just going to make our journey basically island hopping over here, going from one little island to the next. And unless I am very much mistaken, we are heading towards that island right over there. Let's see. Looks like another one of those ritual stone circles. Yes. Indeed. I don't know why, but this gives me very much sacrificial vibes. Right over there. So another ritual bowl where we have to make ayahuasca. So we'll get to work on that. And then we'll see where that leads us. Right, so I've made the fire and I've got the Banisteriopsis vine from the big old Brazil nut tree over here. However, we still need to find Psychotria in order to make the ayahuasca, which is obviously at the ritual bowl over there. Over here on the island, we do have some poison dart frogs hopping around over here. And we also have this little cane toad right over here, and he just caught a little insect with by sticking out his tongue. Now, cane toads, and there's another one over there, actually do originally come from South America. However, they were introduced into a variety of places around the world as pest control. And as the name suggests, cane toads were introduced into cane fields, so cane sugar fields, in order to actually kill the cane beetles, which were devastating the cane sugar plantations. And they worked okay, but not very well, and instead they just kind of cause chaos in all the ecosystems that they have been introduced into. And one such area is, of course, Australia. And you may have already heard about cane toad invasion in Australia, but they've basically taken over large parts of the Australian mainland, simply because they are so toxic that very few species or very few animals can actually eat them without any problems. Now, obviously, wherever you have a toxic animal, there will be something that can eat it. And there are, in the natural environment in South America, there are some snakes that will be able to eat it, and some other mammals some mammals as well. However, in Australia, very few animals are actually able to eat the cane toad, and they're basically invading without any major problems. And that's mainly because behind their eye, they're very difficult to see, but there is a gland there that contains a very, very toxic poison, which as soon as dogs, for example, go and eat that, you might as well say goodbye to old Fido. They are extremely toxic to dogs as well, but of course some animals then would go and eat them. Things like crows have learned to avoid eating the poison gland, so they just eat the rest of the toad. Interesting. So we've got another one of these spiritual doorways that we need to go through. Can kind of play peekaboo over there. Oh, there's a skull over there. Okay, there's a dead person in there. I want to go say hello. What shall we call him? Now, of course, he's dead, so whatever we call him, he's not going to come. But in any case, there's a dead person there. We do still need Psychotria viridis. The only way for us to get into that spiritual doorway would be by drinking ayahuasca. And in order to do that, we need the wonderful Psychotria viridis to give us a nice little trip. So we are going to eat the Guanabana fruit, as it is now labeled. Now that we have actually read about or heard about Guanabana, we can actually see that it is called that. The soursop is also called the custard apple. And I'm just going to wander around a bit to look for the Psychotria plant so that we can go on a lovely trip. But while I'm looking for that, the cane toads, as I said, very, very toxic animal with the toxins contained in that gland behind the eye. It's called the parotid gland, and you'll find that in all toads. Oh, ant's nest. That's a bit of an oopsie that I made there. This is not Psychotria. This is some kind of mint family plant, a Plectranthus most likely. Yes, Jake, I know you are a permanently exhausted pigeon. But we need Psychotria. Not finding any over here, unfortunately. Let's just have a look on this side. If we can't find here, we'll need to get back to the tents and have a look over there. So nothing over here. Let's make our way back. Really shouldn't be walking along the water's edge, with caimans and potentially in real life crocodiles, alligators, all those types of things. But we are walking along here. It's nice and open, so we can potentially see danger popping up. But in South Africa, we also have got toads, and all around the world you'll find toads, and generally far less toxic than the cane toad that we've got in this game, and that's invading Australia. And wherever you are, there generally would be something like mongooses that would also be able to eat the cane toads, or toads overall. So in South Africa, our mongooses have learned to eat the rest of the toad and avoid that section that contains the toxins. So they then eat the toad without suffering poisoning by them, which is, brilliant that animals have learned that. We need to just get across this river section, or the swampy area here. We are still okay. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. We'll be fine. Okay. We are back at the tents. Doesn't seem that we are being chased at the moment. So let's just first take a quick little nap. Favorite part of any day. And then we'll go from there. Okay, we are back in the morning. And will you look at that? Psychotria right here by the tent. So let's just quickly get that. Okay, so we've got Psychotria. And we've got the Banisteriopsis vine, and we are now in good shape to head out and make some ayahuasca, so that we can carry on our journey and see if we can get to the skelly boy in the cave. So let's just head across back to that island over there and make our ayahuasca. And it is story time again, everybody. So let's start the fire and continue our backstory. See what we can find out about what happened in this reality. So we've got our ingredients ready. Let's do this. Okay, I hear a kid. I'm not sure where he is. Come on, child. Okay, that's probably not something we should say. Not sure where the kid is. Probably around here. There he is. Come back. Okay. The ayahuasca is obviously starting to affect us. Oh, see the anaconda there and rattlesnakes? So anacondas, being largely aquatic species, it's not actually added in the game, but you can of course find that dead anaconda on the island. Now we actually had an interesting encounter with a snake recently, and I'll probably tell you about that next time, because we have to focus on the story here. But so many dead birds. Death and destruction all around. Okay. Run after the kid here. And that brings us to this doorway that we had to look at. And we are back in the hospital.
You know what the worst part about this disease is? The doctors gave me 6 months. How am I supposed to live my life when time is running out? How the fuck do I just can't. I can't do this anymore. I wake up next to you every day, knowing there's no future for us. I just can't take it. The pain? I want to end it and just be done. It feels like someone is holding my heart in an iron fist, and I can't breathe. I just lie there and look at you.
So it seems Mia had lung cancer, and miraculously, she's been cured. By something, she has been cured, and is unsure what that is. And here, the extraordinary discovery of Jake Higgins. Basically, discovering a cure for cancer. And he did it because his wife Mia had cancer and he had to find a way to save her. Okay, back at the office it seems. One of those masks that we find lying around the Yabawaka sites. All kinds of articles related to the cancer treatment and where the Jake Higgins' discovery will actually save the world. So interesting. We can read this one here. Okay, so Molu basically being there to soon eradicate cancer, which would be simply amazing if we could do that. Cancer really is a horrible disease, but unfortunately it seems we can't really do much to it at the moment. There are so many things we still don't understand about cancer. So I'm just going to give you time to pause this and read this as well. And then this little section here.
I can't blame you for the decisions you made. You chose me, not knowing the cost. Would you do it again? Or was the price of healing me too high?
So interesting, the article here basically speculating that Brazil would become a superpower because of the cure discovered in, obviously, Brazil and the development that came along with that. And I'll again give you a chance to pause and read, and then I'll scroll down. Okay, and the last little bit. Okay, so that one basically dealing with, again, how the world then flocked to Brazil in order to get to the Yabawaka to try and find a cure, well, to cancer and disease. So obviously the tribe was then threatened because of that. Everybody flocking there, potentially bringing all kinds of diseases. However, apparently they were quite immune to it. Again, time to pause, and then I'll move down. Okay, so this article here, basically dealing with an example of Sammy, a little boy that's 4 years old and has leukemia, it seems, and the cure potentially going to save his life, or whatever the medicine that Jake Higgins found would then potentially save the boy's life. So, obviously that would be marvelous. Save him from suffering. Okay, so there's Mia. Let's, talk to Mia.
What price? What did I do? Tell me, please.
So that's basically in response to Mia asking him whether he would do it again if he knew the price of it all. In this case, it seems that the drug was actually brought out in record pace, which drew attention to the fact that maybe it isn't safe for use in humans, but they were just kind of skipping ahead through the steps to try and get to something that could potentially cure cancer. Marvelous idea, but the road to hell is paved with good intentions. And then there was, of course, a virus outbreak. And more and more and more people were getting infected. For some reason, it started in Brazil, and it seems that it then started to spread to the rest of the world. And some kind of virus, not sure where it came from, but suddenly Brazil was on the brink of chaos. So 20 million people already dead due to the virus. And it seems lots of people are trying to escape Brazil, in trying to flee from the pandemic that had started in the country. And overall, just nobody knows where it came from.
They all believed this was the only solution. Shutting down airports, seaports, and now this? They are isolating the entire continent.
Does that sound familiar? Yeah. Well, it makes sense to shut down airports and travel. You can't spread a disease if people can't have contact with other people. Oh! That is unexpected. Ah, the Waraha tribe. Okay. Weird lighting. Question is this still a dream? Oh, dead person. Body bag. Lots of body bags. Obviously the crows cawing in the distance associated with death. And there's so much death over here. Okay. We're just going to make our way across the rise. You can see civilization for the first time. People. Oh.
You think I was worth it?
Dead people. Holy moly. Nope. Noping out of there. Not going to sit around amongst a bunch of corpses. Ugh. Okay, and speaking of corpses, whatever Mr. Scully over here. Hello, Scully. We are back here. So that was an interesting turn of events. Ugh. Anyway, so lots of people died, apparently. We, however, got the grappling hook gun.
Doesn't look like you're gonna need this.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure he doesn't need it. So there's a hole over here. Obviously, that was blocked. Let's see who you are. Can you tell us who you are? Let's listen to your audio recording.
That's Alvarez. I fell down the cave. I think I broke my leg. Wait. Report number. Why do I even... Alvarez. Report number 24. I managed to immobilize the leg, but there is no exit. The walls are covered in paintings. So someone must have been here before me. How the fuck did they come in? There's nothing here. Not even the tiniest crack. It's all because of that asshole Higgins. I told you we don't fucking need him here. Higgins! You piece of shit! Pick up that fucking call! You and that Plasticos are just a bunch of fucking frauds! I know you couldn't be trusted! I hope you die, scumbag! It's because of you! All of it! No! I'll fuck you up myself when I get out of here!
Yo. So that is one very angry dead guy. Sorry, Alvarez. No, you didn't make it. Obviously, because there you are. Fell down. What on earth were you doing up there? Like, seriously, how did you get up there? That's what I want to know. Why was he climbing along a mountainside? Okay, so we are literally on the island over here. Now, there's no land bridge along here. He literally was just climbing up on the mountain. Alvarez, I have no sympathy for you. You were being stupid. So, I'm sorry, you didn't make it, but we are making it, and we're going to get out of here. And we're going to make sure we get out of here. And then we'll tell the world about your sacrifice and leave out the part where you were cursing us and Mia. Now we need to get back to our little campsite there, and then we are going to see what else or what we can do next. However, we will do that next time. So I'm going to head out over this way. I will see you guys, well, next week we are back with some Sim Safari, with another Sim Safari video. And the week thereafter, we will be back in the Amazon with possibly the conclusion of the story, although it may be another 2 episodes. But soon, we are going to find out what exactly happened here. So until next time, stay safe, and I will see you soon.